using the product and really getting the product out of it. So I appreciate you for giving me that market, man. With the
Well,
distro.
I'll make you this promise. I already press record, so we're recording. But when we have 10,000, 100,000 people in the next 12 months to 18 months, you're going to do it again.
All right, I'm down.
And we're going to have a lot more people posting your stuff.
Yeah.
So, Kris Manning, the best smile in Texas barbecue. So the best barbecue in the world. So you have the best smile in the world in barbecue. You know that right now.
I don't know,
man. Yeah. So where is Smokey Joe's? So everybody can know. And then also give a little history of Smokey Joe's, and then we'll get a little history about you after that.
All right, brother. Sounds good. So my name is Kris Manning. I'm from Smokey Joe's Barbecue. We're located in the Oak Cliff area in Dallas, Texas. Different things that we specialize at Smokey Joe's is more old school traditional barbecue, such as our old school pork spare ribs. We kind of keep them simplistic. We feel like we love to taste that great pork flavor, and we like to bring that out of our ribs. So that's what we're highly known for is our ribs. That's what we sell the most of, is just kind of an old school backyard barbecue style rib. Outside of that, we've been open for 40 years, and I'm the second generation as far as the pit master, coming behind Kenneth Manning and Joe Melton, which were the original owners, and kind of paved the way for me to be able to take this journey. So, but I've been doing this journey for about 10 years now. And
yeah, has it been 10 years already?
I know. I was looking. I was like, man, it's been 10 years. 2013.
Oh, so 2013. So the list that that I would say the list that really got 2017. So 2013, you were already doing your thing for 2017, huh?
Yeah. I just started though, and I really didn't, and still don't know nothing. But
no,
I really didn't know nothing. Then.
Everybody ate your foldovers at the around the pit. Or excuse me, around the pit. Like that brisket was fire. Those, and then homemade pickles, pickled red onions, your barbecue sauce. Like, man, it was the star of the show. It was absolutely amazing.
Hey, I like to keep it simple. Grab a bite. It's barbecue. It's accessible. It's grabbable. Why not? I feel like who doesn't love brisket? So
you say you started 10 years ago. So that we're in 2013. So before that, like, how did you stumble upon this barbecue thing? Like, is it something that you're like, you know what, this is what I want to do, grab it and ran with it? Or, is it, you're just like, actually, I think it was one of those things you just saw like the Franklin thing and everybody else, or you're just so like, oh my God, like I love barbecue.
It was actually completely opposite. How I got in barbecue was a little bit different just because I grew up working, at the barbecue restaurant, and it was more so punishment. It was more so like, hey, if you mess up, son, this is where you're going to be. And so that's kind of how I told myself when I was young, I was like, I don't ever want to work in barbecue. There's no way. If you do drugs, you're going to end up here. You go to jail, you're going to end up here. And so I remember I was like, I told myself, I'm not going to end up here. I can guarantee you that. So I think that was the main thing. Like, I never want to do drugs and stuff like that. Because I'm like, I'm not ending up here. There's no way.
I don't want to work in this barbecue joint.
No, well, back in the day, it was raw. It was very old school. And it was like that up until 2015 after I took over. But no central air and heat. We had a pit in the middle of the kitchen. And I mean, it was, almost like Kreitz Market and stuff like that. Like the pit was in the middle of the kitchen, and it was brutal. It was brutal.
Do you have any of those bricks, or did you move that pit somewhere, or did y'all just like destroy it?
So we wiped it out because it was in the middle of the kitchen, and I wanted to keep it. However, it kept catching on fire, literally, and it was in the middle of the store. And so we had an old school brick pit that had 2 top racks on top and then 2 top racks on bottom. And so what we do is we would put our ribs on the top for about an hour and a half, cook them a little bit hot, and then we'd drop them down, almost kind of similar to a Bewley.
Yeah.
We drop them down and then let them go real slow, finish on off, tender them on up, and take them off. Pit cooked great for ribs. I loved it. But the stack, however, it was, keep in mind, so like I said, the pit was in the middle of the building. So if you imagine like a Bewley in the middle of your kitchen and you got a 24-foot stack going out the roof. So you can imagine, yeah, huh?
It's hot.
It's hot, and trying to clean it, you have to get on top of the roof, shoot a power hose down the stack. It was a lot to it. It was a lot of work, extremely a lot of work, maintenance it, and I did my best to keep it clean. And somehow I didn't know what was going on, but I did know one thing, that thing kept catching on fire. And so what would happen is we would be cooking all throughout the day. And so I started seeing flurries come out the stack, I should say. And once they came out the stack, they would touch on the roof. And that's originally, I think, how the first fire that I had happened in 2017 or 18 is how that happened. And so I saw that in 2019, I think. And that's when I was like, yeah, they got to go.
Wow. But so did you didn't keep the bricks and like take them to the house or anything?
I didn't. Customers were kind of looking at us like, oh, is the food going to change? I'm like, no, it's not going to change. That's when we got acclimated to the Moberg smokers. I then brought those in. And, that's kind of what really changed our barbecue for us and kind of helped us to make that progression to kind of modernize just different items. We keep some items like our chicken, our ribs, old school, but we modernized the brisket, we modernized the sausage, stuff like that. But like I said, growing up, it was kind of a, hey, I don't want to work here. And so once I graduated high school, went to college at Sam Houston State, graduated at Sam Houston State.
Bearcat.
Huh? Yeah, Bearcat.
Were you there during the good times, during all the winning and everything?
Huh?
Were you there during the winning, like when y'all were winning?
I was there when Coach Fritz was there, and they were winning. That went back to back. We lost both national championships, but hey, it's okay. It was a great experience.
The title games were up in Frisco, right?
Yeah, they were in Frisco. Yep.
Fun fact: I actually tailgated at both those games, and we brought a smoker out, and we were making barbecue. It was crappy barbecue. I didn't even know I was going to do barbecue. We were just getting work out there, having a good time.
Nice. Okay. That'll work. Yeah. So I was in that era. And so once I got out of college, kind of what began my journey, I generally couldn't find a job, to be honest with you. It was brutal trying to find a job, and I really got humbled. I was on my high horse coming out of college, like, yeah, I got a degree, woohoo! And I looked up, and I could not find a job anywhere. And so I had this idea of I wanted to get in corporate, wear a suit and tie to work. And that was another thing. I was like, I'm going to wear a suit and tie to work when I go to, that's why I went to college, That's why I kept telling myself, like, I didn't go to college to start sweating and, working really hard and, young, naive, not really knowing anything about life.
But that's the best part, right? Like, I think being naive is what grows you, molds you, and gives you like these aspirations, have these big dreams, because you don't know what you don't know.
You don't. And so I think, after that, I kind of was like, hey, my dad kept asking me, hey, do you want to take over? I'm looking to retire. And I was like, oh, no. I told him no, like, I think 2 times he asked me. And on the 3rd time, I think I couldn't find the job still. And I was like, you know what? I was like, if I take over, it's going to be me. It's me only. I don't want to, take over. And because it was him and Joe, and I didn't feel like I could make my impact on the business if it was more than one owner, because obviously these are Joe's recipes, so I didn't think he wanted to hear from me and my dad either. He, even to this day, he looks at me, you know what you're doing? I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I said, I hope.
But don't you love that he still cares and comes up, he gives you shit? Like, there's like something like so magical about your father or your mother just staying on you, right?
Yeah. And so it's still funny to this day. We, he's like, I'll tell him something about cut. Man, I know what I'm doing. I said, yes, sir. I stay out the way.
There's a couple of questions. So Mark asked, what was your major in college?
Criminal justice.
Yeah.
Criminal justice.
Did you want to do FBI, SWAT?
I wanted to do FBI. I wanted to do SWAT, and I'm young and dumb in college, and kind of should have did my research. And so I was, I understood I had to be a cop, and I understood that I just didn't want to do overnights. Like my mind, I felt like that's why I went to college, and I was like, I'm not going overnight. So that's how that dream kind of ended. Which is I didn't want to do overnights. But yeah, criminal justice.
Well, I guess every once in a while you have to do some overnights now, right?
Look, it doesn't really matter these days. So yeah, it's overnight. Anything goes. So yeah.
So wrapping your ribs, good or bad?
I think good. We don't per se wrap ours, but if you're doing a glaze on them, I think it's great. And we have wrapped ours before in butcher paper. We spritzed them with a little bit of pickle juice and wrapped them, and they came out great. I more so like a crunchy skin on my rib. That's kind of what I look for, and so that's what I like, but it just depends on the person, I feel. So
it's funny. You just hit on it. Somebody's asking, Scott's also asking, what do you think about spritzing your meat every 30 minutes? Like, what's the proteins you should spritz on or not?
Yeah,
what's the mixture of your spritz?
Spritzing is important. That keeps the moisture in your meat. I feel like, you need moisture. Is what is it, Joe? The elements that you need. You need fire, you need smoke, you need moisture, and then obviously your temp, a consistent temperature.
Lots of love.
Yeah. But those things are very pivotal in your cook, and I feel like when you're spritzing, but there is a certain time when you need to spritz, and there's a certain time that you don't need to spritz. And so,
what is that? When do you spritz? When don't you spritz?
So, me personally, I look for a great established bark, whether it's chicken, whether it's turkey, brisket, ribs. I look for to make an assumption on if it's established bark, and my assumption on that is for brisket, it needs to look like black gold, as we like to call it. The skin should be formed, no light brown spots, stuff like that. I'm looking for that brisket, and we'll even push them at the restaurant. We'll put a little bit of foil on the butts and a foil on the lean, and just to protect them and push them as far as we can push them to get that pretty bark on there.
Bark is king. That's why people love Texas barbecue.
Yeah, I mean that's the best part, in my opinion. That's what we work so hard, to put on a brisket or chicken or ribs. I want this texture of the skin to be right. I want the bark of the skin to be right. I feel like those things are so pivotal.
Nice. So do you use the same rub for every protein, or do you like to switch it up with different proteins?
So I like to switch it up with different proteins. What I've learned I like to keep it simplistic. I don't like to step out the box too much on my proteins. I'm not more of like a sweet guy, so I like a savory flavor for me personally. So, but for beef, any beef product that I normally touch, whether it's beef cheek, whether it's beef ribs, whether it's brisket, I always start with a base of kosher salt, coarse black pepper. I feel like that's standard. I feel like that's your base. And anything else I want to tweak outside of that, I'll add to that. But I feel like those two combinations really break down that beef really well. It makes it tender. And, I learned that, kosher salt is it's almost like a magical ingredient. As people say, all you do is put salt and pepper on your brisket. Yeah. And I feel like that kosher salt really breaks down any kind of red meat, especially beef. I always use kosher salt on, especially just all the beef products. I feel like it breaks it down really good, makes it tender. Whether we're making tacos, whether we're making beef ribs, brisket, you can't really go wrong, in my opinion, with those two as your base.
So, what is your favorite beef product to cook? Is it beef cheek, beef ribs, brisket? Like, what is it that you like to cook? What do you love to eat?
That's okay. So, obviously, brisket. That's it doesn't get old. It hasn't got old to me yet. I still love it.
Lean or moist?
I love moist. I feel like you're getting a brisket. I want the best of the best. Lean is good, and I like lean, but I feel like, you get all that marbling, that richness. When I eat a moist brisket, I feel like, hey, that's equivalent to a steak, and it's luxury in a sense. It's
Hey,
really luxury.
right now it is a luxury.
Yeah, look on every corner.
Oh, that's amazing. Do you serve beef ribs every Saturday or just every once in a while? Or
So every Friday and Saturday we serve beef ribs. Those are my favorite too. Beef ribs are so rich that you got to share them. There, those are probably my second favorite beef ribs, and then my third, I love beef cheek. And I almost that look, it's a competing fight with beef cheek and beef ribs. Like I love tacos, especially when that beef cheek is just like you can just mush it. Like
and one thing I need to do for you is I need to stand on top of the rooftop and say that you got homemade tortillas. Like I don't know why you don't say that more. People don't know. People don't know you got homemade tortillas.
I need to put it out there a little bit more, man. Yeah.
Like that's amazing. Like you literally have homemade flour tortillas at Smokey Joe's with your barbecue.
We do.
That's insane. We don't even have homemade tortillas. Ours are homemade down the street where we've been for the last 10 years.
Hey, but I think, to be fair, I think y'all volume is a lot bigger when it comes to tacos than our volume.
It don't matter. It's still like homemade tortilla. Like that's like the most magical thing in the world.
You're right. Yeah, to be fair, I think, I got to respect that now. If we were doing, 500, 600 tortillas a week, we might be going down the street too. Yeah. So
we'll be mad at you probably. So we can't do that.
There you go, so hey.
So, you've been rocking and rolling, made top 50 in 2021. Like, how did that day feel? Like, what was like, actually, you woke up that morning. What did you like? Were you just first thing you did was go online? Then you saw that the website went down. You're like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah. So, I mean, that was a dream, and till this day, it's still unbelievable. Still can't believe it. It's a dream come true. It's something that, we've always wanted to be a part of, and we felt like, and still feel like we got a lot of work to do, but we were grateful to be a part of that, and we feel like that's life changing. That's probably for me, I think the biggest accomplishment I've ever done in my life. For me personally, in business and just life in general. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity to be, included with just so many great barbecue places. And, even to this day, like I admire and look up and, and love to want to learn from just all those great places that's been on that list for years. And it's just been dominating for years. And I feel like it's a privilege, and I'm definitely grateful for that. The feeling that I got was just, man, I was in really disbelief, man, and kind of teared me up a little bit. And it really made me feel like, hey, everything that you've been through, was worth it for me. And, it's a lot that, goes on kind of up here and just in life that I've dealt with, whether it was, trying to cook barbecue and getting shot at, somebody coming to try to rob us.
Oh, you gotta tell that story. What happened?
It's just it was a lot. It's been a lot in this barbecue journey that people don't know. That it was something like that had happened. Wow. It was the fires that happened. It was a lot of different things. That I've been through personally. At this restaurant, and so I just it made everything feel like it was worth it. Everything was worth it.
Well, I'm really proud. I was so happy that you made the list, like, especially being from Dallas. Like, we weren't getting the love. Like, Dallas still ain't getting the love, right? Fort Worth got the love.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Dallas, we ain't getting the love, right? And, for you to be, one of those individuals and to truly be a steward of barbecue, right? Like, everybody, like, it's almost a responsibility when you're in top 50. Number one, to make great barbecue, but number two, like, to teach and also get people excited, because at the end of the day, if it wasn't for people being excited about Texas barbecue, we wouldn't be here, right?
True.
And you've done a magical job of doing that. From even think about what you've done. Like that beautiful smile was in Texas Monthly on Coke.
You're right.
like you are truly embodying what Texas barbecue is. And I'm so thankful that you take this responsibility so serious and, just do a magical job in spreading the gospel of Texas barbecue.
Well, look, we couldn't do that without you, Joe. You taking this thing to another level, and things like you that guys like you, that what you do is give guys like us the opportunity to come on here and spread the gospel, which is a platform essentially, and I'm grateful for that. So thank you. So.
No. Like I'm just glad you said yes. I had to call 100 people and they all said no. But I'm not gonna lie. I always tell everybody the first time's easy, right? I'm nervous about this second go around, right? Like being on it back to back. Like, people are like, so did you know who was coming? It's like, no, you didn't know. Even I know this. I know they came out because they took photos of you, but I still didn't believe it, right? Like I didn't believe it until the day of. I'm like,
me either.
Like, for honorable mention? Is this for like a side they like?
Exactly.
Like, did you have that same feeling?
Yeah, I didn't know. I was like, I hope so, but I don't want to get my hopes up and not be sick. So I was just like, I'm believing when I see it.
Yeah. And is there somebody asked, do you do whole hog? Like, is there anything that you're going to be working towards to bring to the menu, to try to, I don't want to say stay relevant because that's sad that I have to say that, but something.
But it's true. It's true.
I know.
That's reality.
But it's like, what is it that's gonna? Granted, you're not gonna believe me when I say this. Your food in 2021 was great. Your food now is even better. Like your brisket, like the last time I went out there, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this is like really, really, really good, right? Like what else is up your sleeve? Like what is it? Something that you're, is it whole hog or something else that you're looking to do? And because to be honest with you, a lot of people don't know how beautiful your menu is. You even have like unbelievable sides on Sundays, right?
Fridays and Saturdays.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday.
And your desserts, like their dessert, like I took a buttermilk pie. I think 2 weeks ago. I was like, the wife came. She's like, you can't be eating that stuff. I said, I don't care. I'm eating it.
Yeah. I love, first and foremost, I love whole hog. It is really an art, and I feel like when you cook it, it's just like you really get to sit back and just enjoy the cook of cooking a whole hog. It's just a beautiful process, and I definitely want to put it on the menu. Business-wise, I'm just not positive if it's a smart business decision for, I guess, my clientele. And so it was one of the questions. So I was going to buy one of those BBQ grills, and I was going to get it going. And it's one of those things I've learned that, everything that you want on the menu may not necessarily sell. So, but I haven't given hope up on it. And I might actually, contact you, Joe, about getting one of them whole hog pits.
Oh yeah, I need to hook you. You forgot about that. I need to hook you up with my guy.
Yeah. Please send me that guy's number. I really want to. I love whole hog. Like it's. I love the process to it, and it's just. I don't know. It's just something sweet about cooking one that just gets the blood flowing.
That skin. But I'll say this to your point, so we can educate the people. It's like what you mean by economic wise is you have this big hunk of meat, and for a whole hog, like realistic, like you have to serve that thing right when it's done, because I think that's the most magical moment of it. Like moist, and the skin is great. So it's really difficult to be able to get that experience at the highest level throughout the day. So it's more like I was so excited. I bought one because I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do whole hogs every Saturday, whatever. And then I'm like, man, I'm like, we can't do that because like me eating the whole hog immediately. It's completely different than eating it 2 hours after it's been holding in the warm the whole time.
It's Joe. It's different, and I just felt like I would have to put it on a special and maybe even discount the price. And I looked at it business wise, and I said, Kris, and my friend asked me, he said, well, how much pulled pork do you sell? And when I answered that question, I said, yeah, he's right. He asked me about Kay from CM Smokehouse. He asked me a valid question, and he was like, hey, how much pulled pork do you sell in the first place? And, do you think that's going to be, he mentors me. He's like, do you think that's going to be wise to put that on the menu if you're only selling this much pulled pork? And, you know, as much as I didn't want to hear it, he's right. He was,
100%.
you know,
I'm about to take beef ribs down because the last 3 weeks we've had 2 racks of beef ribs left every Saturday. So as much as I want to keep on pushing it because they're magical,
yeah.
not. Also pulled pork, like our pulled pork sold, but it was just it was easier for sloppy one, so we switched it to almost carnitas because now they're selling because we're okay, this is great. But it's those difficult choices that you have to make. You know, I think this was last Thursday, right? Like everybody wants to do barbecue, so you have to run a business. And then we have to run a business. You realize, oh shit, okay, like yeah.
It's 2 different things, and like you said, we've slowly kind of upped our beef ribs week by week, and then once we feel like people are buying them consistently, we'll keep going up. But I mean, I'm gonna be honest, Joe. We started off with 1 rack of beef ribs. I know that sounds crazy.
We make only 4 on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, we started with 1, and we kind of added on from there to see, okay, people love them, people are buying them, and we add them on and want it to be, you know, a popular item. But yeah, same thing for like pulled pork. I mean, we took it off the menu just because it just wasn't selling, and you need pulled pork to sell in the barbecue business. Me and you both know that. It's very vital to a barbecue business. However, you know, if I'm throwing away 3/4 of the pulled pork and I'm only taking a little out, then I said, well, you know, that's not just what they're gravitating to, and I have to understand that. So it's kind of more of those things, you know, going back to the whole hog. As much as I would love and want to put it on there, I'm not sure if investing in the pit, putting it on there, and, you know, selling 3 sandwiches after a 14-hour cook.
I know. And even like it goes for pork steaks, right? Like I was all gun ho, I'm gonna do pork steaks. Bro, literally to get it sliced, it's like $4.29 a pound, like right there at brisket, like right under a brisket price, right? I'm like,
is it?
Like I'm like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, because you can buy a pork butt for $79, $69 or whatever. But the first time they have to actually cut it for you and make steaks, bro, $4.25, $4.50 a pound.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
I didn't know that.
So is somebody gonna want to spend $25, $30 on a pork steak?
No, not at all.
No.
And they're good, but not at all.
It's just like, let's see. We got some more. Oh, this is perfect because I know, you know, like I need to go to Kate's spot because he has the best barbecue menu that gets you excited. So the question is, what are your top 3 spots to go to in Texas to go get barbecue?
I gotta go with CM Smokehouse, Cade, and just because, not because my mentor.
No, because it is. You can say it.
Hey,
it's okay.
But no, what he's doing is just it's infusion, but it's also quality, and it's still a little bit of traditional as well.
Like he literally said, I'm going to do a crunchy wrap supreme with the best ingredients.
Yeah.
And blow your mind. And he's doing that over and over again with things that you already eat that you're like, there's no way you can elevate this stuff.
Yeah. And, you know, kind of going back to the panel that we did, you know, a lot of it is I feel like that is some of the new wave. And I feel like, hey, he was already on that and kind of has been on that of, you know, creating these very creative dishes that have that have barbecue infused in them that are really great. They're stepping outside the box, but I feel like, you know, he's a person that's going to change the game of barbecue. And, you know, it's either kind of one of the things like, you know, like Aaron Franklin changed brisket. I mean, it's just the times that I feel like, hey, you know, that's what barbecue is going to. And I can see that. I can see it because it's like you said, there's obviously going to be your base, but then it's good to have things like that on your menu, like the things that he's doing with the crunch wraps and just the pork belly donuts. Like it's just, it's fun to watch, you know, just his creativity. So I definitely got to put him on that list.
It's funny. I told Kay this last year when he was at the Texas World Fair for Texas Monthly. I said, I tell every new cat that's in the barbecue game to go look at your menu and do that. And he's like, for real? I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, you figure out how to run a barbecue business that's profitable, and you're doing it on a 500-gallon and a direct pit. You're getting the maximum output.
Yeah.
With what proteins you're making.
Yeah, and he has like a whole bunch of 500s. He loves them, and like you said, you're getting the maximum. And not only that, you know, it's top tier quality. You know, Creekstone Farms briskets. He's putting just different. He has top quality, you know, products that's going on there, not just, you know, a regular brisket. You know, obviously he's chopping it up and it's still quality. And so that would be one. Cadillac.
He's actually at isn't he at the FC Austin? Has a stand out there too.
He does. Yeah.
How cool is that?
I know, right?
Yeah. So you said Cadillac Barbecue, Farmers Branch?
Yeah, I feel like they're the creme of the creme. You know, they're the what
First
they're doing
class.
is
first class.
Like what they're doing is just it's exceptional. I love it. I love when I get a chance to go eat there. Everything is like, it's just, you know, and I don't know if some people know, like, just like every detail that they do, whether it's bologna, whether it's pastrami, whether it's PB pork belly ribs, just every detail is executed to perfection. Every detail.
Flawless.
Flawless. And, you know, I've never heard one person, you know, say something about Cadillac, and, you know, just everything that they do is almost, you know, it's I don't even know how to put it into words, but it's amazing. Like just the grades of the food, like just the grade. I don't see anybody selling Wagyu in Texas, is there? I mean, I could be wrong, I'm sure.
No, they're pretty much the only ones that's using Heart Brand. I think Teddy's in the Valley gets a little bit. And I believe 2M used to use it, but I'm not sure if they still use it. But they led the charge with Heart Brand for sure.
Yeah, and so, you know, I mean, that's just some over the top, and I feel like everything they do is just, you know, I feel like they should get more recognition because it's just the things that they do, and just it's always just, you know, man, it's really good. So.
Absolutely amazing. I'm so happy for Andrew for taking over.
Yes.
I can't see like it's so funny, right? It's like, how can they get better? It's like, oh, okay. All right, let's see what Andrew's going to do. And you know,
stuff, right? I feel like, you know, who to be better successor than him? He 100%. Loves it, he's passionate about it, and things that he's already been there doing it. And you know, I feel like what they're doing is just, man.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous of Todd. Like, I wish I could have that where somebody's like, you know what, I want to buy Zavala. Here you go. Like, I'm good. Oh, and by the way, I can still stay on slice only. Okay, I'm in.
Look, it ain't bad, is it?
No, like he won the lotto. Like he won the lotto.
I think they both won the lotto. I think, you know, Andrew obviously is just he's at a level that. Like you said, it's two ways for a person to go. Like they're gonna either own it or they're gonna start their own. And so I felt like, hey, that was an amazing, man. And I'm very happy for him. You know, just kind of talking to him and stuff, and I'm very happy for him. I feel like, and I know obviously Todd knows like he's not gonna half step by an ounce, and he's gonna push it like you said. Oh, you think get better? He's gonna get better. You know, and that's.
You just like I told him already, and you got to push him again. It's like we need to get those rubs and sauce ready so we can get them shipping out.
Yeah. They do, man. Hey, I admire them so much. It's just
first class.
That's the creme of the creme, man. It's the creme of the creme. I like to call them. They got everywhere I've been. They're just it's really good.
What and number 3? Who's number 3?
Number three. Man, that's a tough one because everybody's so good.
I know that's the problem, right? In a 5-10 mile radius, or even in the city, there's 10 different ones you can go to.
Let me see. I gotta think of one. You might have to get back to you on that. I gotta think. My number 3.
Okay, that's fine. How about this?
Okay.
Outside of barbecue, what's your favorite? What's your 2 go-to spots to go eat that's non-barbecue?
One, Albanese.
Yeah, bro. I've been wanting to go there forever because I want to feel how like Jerry Jones feels. Like
Albanese, whether it's brunch, whether it's going there for a nice dinner, in my opinion, is one of the best restaurants in Dallas. I don't see, and I could be wrong. I'm biased. I just like them.
No, that's what. Look, there's people saying Albanese. Kyle goes for his
Albanese. They do not miss a detail. They don't miss product food wise. Everything is quality. I haven't had a better steak in anywhere in the world.
All right, I'm gonna go try it. You sold me.
I haven't had a better steak than anywhere in the world than Albanese. So
Does it have a nice crust?
Oh, it's the best. Like, it's the best food I've had, and I've had different steak. I've had a lot of steakhouses. So
give me your order. What's your order there, so I know what to get?
So I gotta go filet mignon. I feel like it's a steakhouse. I love filet mignon, but you can't go wrong with a New York strip. They're all good. But outside of that, the lobster mac and cheese is amazing. The cream corn is a must. And I'm trying to think. Oh, before you even start, the crab cakes.
All right.
Hey, best crab cakes I've ever had. Period. Yeah.
I'm excited about it. Like, dang, got me hyped.
Hey, I'm just saying. But
what's your second go-to spot?
Second go-to spot, I love Creole food.
Okay.
So they have this place by the house that's called Crab Kings. It's a small local joint. They serve Creole Cajun food, and I love to get their pasta. They have an amazing.
All right, I'm gonna have to go out there. What's it called? Crab Kings?
It's called Crab Kings in DeSoto. They have an amazing pasta that I love to eat there, and it's good. It's good.
Okay, I'm excited. I'm gonna have to ask for one more because like these are all new places I've never been to.
Okay. So outside of those two, I'm trying to think. Look, Joe, you got me.
Sounds like number 3 is a hard one for everything.
Yeah, look, it is. You got me on the spot. Outside of that, okay, I got number 3. This is a no-brainer. I love Gloria's.
Yeah. No, it's okay. What do you get there? Enchiladas or tacos?
The flautas, the chicken flautas.
Oh, okay.
I love Gloria's. Maybe for the drinks, but
what's it like? You gonna have 2 of their margaritas, right, or something like that too? That'd be banging.
Just one. No, it's just one. One's enough. But I guess I love Gloria's for the food. The food's always good, and I can anytime I have a long day. I love a good margarita, frozen margarita from Gloria's. I feel like that's my go.
Do you ever put a topper on there, some Grand Marnier or some Cointreau or anything?
No, I feel like that margarita is strong enough for me, and I'm okay with just one. And I don't need to get topped off. Now, other people I've seen do it, but hey, I'm okay with just one. I don't need the extra. So,
oh man, I'm not gonna lie. I had to eat something quick to eat, but I'm gonna have to eat something good after this. Hey, actually, you make boudin, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you do brisket boudin or do you old school boudin? East Texas
brisket boudin.
Brisket boudin?
Yep, boudin.
Like, people may get on me for not doing this, but do you serve crackers with yours? I feel like I need to put some crackers on mine now.
I do.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Do you do anything special to the crackers, or just saltine crackers you just throw out there?
Just good old saltine crackers.
All right, I love it. So I don't do anything fancy. That makes me feel better. But do you have hot sauce so people can put some hot sauce on it though?
I don't. That's the only thing that I don't have. But we haven't really got a lot of requests for it. But it does go hand in hand. To be fair, like that's what makes an amazing boudin. Put a little hot sauce, crackers, and go to work.
Yeah. I want you to know you just made a new fan with Mark Daly up in Indiana. He's going to come down here to Dallas, just come eat your place, eat some ribs, and want to say hello to you.
Oh man, please, yeah, come check us out. We love to see your support. Try to come on Friday and Saturday if possible. We got that's when we kind of open up our menu, kind of to add more different sides and variety of meat. So let's give a good Southern comfort cuisine is our thing that we like to specialize in, and so yeah.
All right. And then Ted out of Dallas. Do you make your own sausage? If so, what's your favorite sausages to make? You have boudin.
So number one is boudin. I love boudin. I'm a boudin connoisseur. That's my favorite thing, probably favorite sausage. I know it's not really considered a sausage, but a traditional sausage, I should say. However, I love boudin. Outside of that, we just came up with an amazing pizza sausage that will be on the menu this week.
Look, come on.
So,
this is how exclusive you get here at bbqdistro.com. You get stuff that people don't even know.
no.
So you're doing pizza sausage this week.
So we got a pizza sausage we're putting on the menu this week. We did a test batch last week that came out really good.
What's the flavor? What makes it a pizza sausage?
That's pepperoni. It's got it tomato.
No.
It's good. It's good. It's good. We got the mozzarella.
No,
it's
you
good.
don't.
It do. And it came out really good. We're actually gonna do it at Troubadour too. Don't tell nobody. We'll do it at Troubadour.
Hey, well, the good thing is, so we'll drop some more knowledge. bbqdistro.com is going to be doing a passport at the Troubadour Fest, and you're one of the places of the 12 spots they have stopped. If they stop at all 12 spots, they'll probably win a Nomad. Maybe they'll win some other goodies from BBQ.
Okay.
So, we want to take it to that next level. And now we're going to be able to eat some pizza sausage. Pepperoni. It's so funny because we have the pizza pepper sausage. People get so pissed off. They're like, it doesn't taste like pizza. We're like, yeah, it's red pepper flakes. Or people are like, yeah, this tastes just like pizza. We're like, it tastes nothing like pizza at all.
Yeah. My one of my guys at Wardo, he came up with it. He was like, Kris, he's been with us for a while. He's like, Kris, you gotta try this. All right, what we got, Wardo? And he's like, he showed me. I was like, Wardo, this is it. This is good. So
hey, let me ask you a question because I do this.
Wardo,
I do this to my guys. I say y'all have to remember something. Y'all can bring fire, but if you bring it, like it's not my fault, but it's always gonna be Zavala's barbecue because people eat it here. Like I can say your name 1,000 times.
Yeah.
People are always gonna say Zavala's barbecue. So I tell my peeps, I say bring me stuff, but if it's something you really care about, don't bring it because it automatically, not because I want to take the praise, it just happens, right? Because they buy it.
It's gonna happen, and like everybody, learns from somebody. I like to think, and obviously we create different things as well. But and that's what I told him. I was like, hey, this is your idea. If you're okay with that, then that's cool. If 100%. You're not okay with that, then that's okay too. I said, but this is your idea. I want you to be creative. I don't want you to feel like, hey, I'm giving you this recipe. And like I told him, I mean, unless you're Steve Jobs, somebody coming up with just something, ridiculous, that's not necessarily going to make the whole business. You see what I'm getting at? And it's like my friend Clyde. I gave Clyde from East Texas Rust Barbecue our jalapeno cheddar sausage recipe, and he tweaked it to his likings, and he made it for what he wanted to make it. But I understood that, hey, he's making jalapeno cheddar sausage, but that's not gonna, and he could take it worldwide. Hey, I'm not saying, but I don't. For me, and if he does, I'm gonna be happy for him. But at the end of the day, it's one of them things where everybody should be helping everybody, and that's the way I look at it. And I don't feel like nothing's wrong with that. I feel like we all should help each other. And if you're good at what you do, that's not going to matter in the first place. So
100%, because there's only you have great food, the best food in the world, but that experience matters exactly, maybe even more than how great the food is.
Well, that, Joe. And if you want to survive, like you said, it's a different thing in business versus, having everything on the menu that you want to have. So
yeah. What were you saying, Brent?
We missed a couple questions.
Oh.
One was Scott, pickle juice better than apple?
Is pickle juice better than apple juice for a spritzer?
I feel like you can't go wrong with either one. We use pickle juice. We've used apple juice as well. I mean, I don't feel like you can go wrong with either one.
How about for protein? Do you use pickle for one and apple for another, or just whatever you feel like that day?
To be honest, we use pickle juice for everything.
Okay.
Yeah, we use pickle juice for all proteins. We use them for chicken. We use them for turkey, brisket, It doesn't affect the flavor. I and ribs too. And that was my concern. Like, hey, does it affect the flavor? It doesn't, affect the flavor by any means, but it does keep that great moisture on it, and it comes out really well. So,
And also, you pay for all this pickle juice. Better use it somehow, right?
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's just for us. It's just like you said, repurposing it. So,
And then, what wood do you use for smoking?
so on the wood that we like to use, we use ribs. I mean, we use hickory for ribs, and then we use post oak for brisket. And the reason that we do that is because we per se like to cook our ribs at a little bit of a higher temperature. And so we'll start them off with strong hickory. We feel like that hickory gives it that good mahogany color on there. And then it also builds that bark really well on them. At the end of our cook, however, we'll start adding blending post oak in there because we got our ribs to the temp that we want them. We got our temp going consistently, and that post oak is going to slow it down. It's going to simmer it, and it's going to kind of get those juices all soaking in at the very end of the cook, which we feel like when cooking a rib is very important to take it slow the last hour and just let it just go downhill just very slow. So, but we do use post oak on our brisket, and the reason we don't use hickory on our brisket because hickory cooks way too hot.
Oh, okay.
It cooks too hot, and it's just not. I tried it. It does not. The brisket, the bark forms too quick and start making the bark very light. And I just wasn't a fan of it, so we do not put any hickory on the briskets. We just use strictly post oak. It takes the time. You can add. Typically, you can add a good amount of post oak, and your pit's not to get too crazy hot.
So one thing I do, maybe you can try it out, is I love the smell of pecan. So when we cook briskets, like we'll do 3 or 4 logs of post oak, and then we'll throw 1 log of pecan, just because I like how it smells. Does it do anything? Probably not, but just that hickory, that pecan smell when it's smoking is like next level, right? It's like the most pleasant smell.
Smell is amazing. It smells great.
I love the smell of hickory and pecan. Do you have a secret mop sauce for any of your proteins?
No secret mop sauce. Typically, we'll use butter for turkey. We'll use butter for chicken. Ribs, we'll just spritz with pickle juice. Brisket, we use just tallow. No secret mop sauce, though. Just because, normally, only kind of mopping that we'll do if we cook whole turkeys for like Thanksgiving, we'll make a little bit of like a Creole butter mop sauce.
Ooh, that sounds
for
good.
our turkeys. But outside of that, we don't use any just mop sauce on other proteins aside for just turkeys for Thanksgiving.
I don't know if you're excited about Thanksgiving this year, but I am because you remember last year you couldn't even get turkeys to cook.
Yes.
Like that was the most saddest part ever.
It was just, man, it was wild. And then we got our hands on some and the price was just.
I know you're going to charge $125 for a whole turkey. Like people looking at you like you're crazy.
Yeah. It was obscene. It was just like,
But I don't know if you know this, but I don't think even this year we won't sell whole turkeys because no one listens to you to how to reheat the whole turkey. And they just blast it and it gets dry. Like turkey breast, I feel good that you can't really screw it up because of moisture. I know. But like that whole turkey, like I've had 1 or 2 scares with people calling me. I'm like, how'd you heat it up? Well, the was taking too long, so I brought it up to 300. I'm like, well, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
So Dr. Barbecue out of Tennessee, hopefully I didn't destroy any of that information I said. He asked Stanley's a question, and he said he got put in his place because Nick's a good dude, but he was funny. What's your favorite non-Texas style of barbecue?
Whole hog. Is that Texas? Whole hog.
No, it's not Texas at all.
It's not really. It's
Are you a whole hog, pull whole hog where they don't care a shit about the skin, or you whole hog where that skin got to be crispy?
I feel like when you're eating whole hog, you gotta have the skin, the chips in there. I feel like that's what just makes it just different.
And that vinegar with a little bit of hot sauce in it. Is that what you like?
Yes. Hey, I've been trying to make it up to the Carolinas. I really want to do that trip.
Hey, what we should do? We should hook up with Andrew and Brian the next time they do Carolina trip, and we go with them.
We do. We need
because they already have it all mapped out, done it all. I want to do that one place they went where they literally cut like the most perfect part of the whole hog. That's like a center cut, like rib cut, all meat. That there's like 3 of them or 4 of them through a pig. Like think about that. Could you imagine? Could you imagine cooking a brisket and then just cutting the 4 slice and that's all you supposed to be, and then you throw everything else away?
Hey, I've seen I don't know if Guest Family Barbecue still does it, but I remember I think he told me I don't even think they served any chop. Just strictly slice, strictly slice. And so I can imagine. That was new to me.
Yeah. Reed, thank you for coming to Zavala's Bash. He helped out cook. Maybe next year if you want to cook to Zavala's Bash, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, let me know. Yeah. I'd love to. So
I want to make it bigger and bring a lot of friends and let's just wall out and make some good food,
Yeah, of course. It's a great event.
I know we have 6 minutes left because we'll talk about this. Where are you heading right now after this?
We're heading to football practice.
That's amazing.
My second job.
Tell everybody about your team, how long you've been coaching, how y'all season's going, what kind of offense you run, what kind of defense you run.
I've been coaching 4 years now. So we're in DeSoto Chiefs, getting ready for practice. We're doing good this year. I'm happy with them. We won last week, but we could have did better. I'll just say that.
All right, Coach Prime. I love it. I love it, Coach Prime.
We had one of those kind of wins, like a Coach Prime win. It wasn't. We shouldn't have been playing with that team like that. But it happens. We still won like they won, but it was ugly for sure. Yeah. But yeah, so I've been coaching 4 years now, and
y'all in RPO, or y'all just running, or y'all
we run a little bit of RPO, no spread. They're only 8, so
hey, gotta get it going. Gotta get them going.
We're keeping it real simple. We're doing a little bit of RPO, but I mean it's just basic textbook on offense. On defense, we run a 6-2 defense.
Ooh, okay.
So, hey,
off the run.
Main thing, with AU football, people trying to go outside. That's just the bottom line to it. So
yeah,
contain the outside, force it back in the middle.
So what positions do your kids play?
So my son, he plays defensive end, D tackle, a little bit of linebacker too.
Oh, he's mean, huh?
I ain't gonna say that. Not mean as I want him to be.
There you go. I love it. Well, I know I got to get you out of here. I am so grateful that you're a part of the September monthly box. I'm so happy that you saw people using your rubs, using your sauce. I promise you 12 months, 18 months from now, you will be here again because by then we're going to be all over the world. Ben from the UK's on. Hopefully he's still on. Like literally, think about that. You have somebody in the UK that's using your sauce and rubs out there. How amazing is that?
Well, that's the goal. That's the goal. I feel like, in Texas barbecue, we have, like I said, a luxury on every corner, but I feel like a lot of people have been misportrayed, Texas barbecue. And I feel like, hey, it's important for everybody to get, get those flavors and things, especially like, that's why I love the BBQ Distro. That's why when you asked me this, y'all, I was like, this is something that is going to change the world, and it's going to change the world because, like you said, people are getting advice from people that actually have restaurants that's doing this every day. And not only are they doing that, we're giving them a recipe to kind of go through and say step by step, hey, this is what you do. And, like we got asked that question in the panel, hey, you don't have to go home and mess up barbecue. You can go home and have an easy peasy day, be ready for the game or ready for dinner, And so
100%.
I really love what you're doing with the BBQ Distro. It's amazing. And the goal is to touch everybody. I feel like that's what life's about. What kind of impact are we making on a daily basis? And how can we make an impact not only, in our community, but how can we make an impact on the world? And I feel like that's what BBQ Distro gives us an opportunity to do. And so I'm really grateful to be on here, and I'm thankful for people, like Ben that want to learn barbecue from the UK. I feel like that's amazing. We want to touch the UK. We want to touch, all over the world if we can. You know, we want to cook. We want to go cook in the UK. We want to.
100%.
That's the goal. I feel like, you know, I feel like like you said, the barbecue gospel needs to be spreaded. It's amazing. A lot of people still have not tried, you know, the forced slices of a brisket or, you know, just things like that. That is love at first sight, in my opinion. And so
it's life changing. It changed my life.
It is. It changed mine too. And I was just mind boggled. And I had ate barbecue, grew up eating barbecue, and I was like, I have
100%.
never had this much amazing barbecue in my life before.
Well, I would like for you to tell everybody your website, where they can find you on social, and again, what's your address to your location so they can come see you when they're here in the DFW.
All right. Website, Smokey Joe's BBQ Dallas.com. Address 6407 South R.L. Thornton Freeway, Dallas, Texas 75232. We're located about 15 minutes south of downtown, headed towards Austin right off of 35 in Laurel Land. Or follow us on Instagram at Smokey Joe's Barbecue. Barbecue is spelled out. Also, you can follow us on TikTok and we're at Twitter as well. And yeah, I appreciate everybody for chiming in today. And Joe, I appreciate the opportunity, man. Like I said, this is what, you know, barbecue is about, is spreading the gospel and touching people. And, you know, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram, Facebook, anything we can help. I'm always about helping people because so many people have helped me, and I'm always grateful for that. So
you ain't lying. We've been helped so much.
That's what makes the world go round. So helping others.
Well, you go coach those kids, and I'm so grateful. Thank you. Love you, bro.
I love you too. Thank you, Joe. Thank y'all for chiming in today.